Welcome to my conversation with your Alabama 7A 285-pound state champion from Bob Jones, Tafari Alcime. Tafari, how's it going, man?
It's doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How does that sound to say 285-pound state champ?
It sounds great. It's been a long time that I've been working to win. Uh, I got third sophomore year, and I came up short, got sixth junior year, and all I ever wanted was a state title. So I'm really glad that I could
Yeah,
get there.
yeah. So we're gonna get to that path of getting, your path of attaining your goal of winning a state title. But before we do that, let's jump off the mat, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions off the mat just to kind of get to know you. Is that cool?
Yeah, of course.
All right, awesome. All right, so cookies or brownies?
Cookies, definitely
Cookies,
cookies.
definitely cookies. What kind of cookies?
Probably sugar cookies. The ones you get from like the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
off-brand little sugar cookies. I love those.
Okay. All right. I got you. As a heavyweight, like you sit down and eat like five of them, or you take them one at like is it just one?
Say like four, three,
Uh,
four.
okay. All right. Okay. Are you a snow or sand kind of person?
I would say I would say sand. I
Yeah.
like the sunlight. Yeah.
Are you? Is it okay that it's more really hot than really cold?
I would rather it be, yeah, really, really hot than really, really cold.
Okay. All right. How about what flavor of ice cream?
Probably cookies and cream. Cookies and cream always. My whole life. I
Okay.
stood by that.
Okay. All right. I got you. So do you get like isn't there like a cookies and cream like McFlurry or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does it taste the same as the ice cream?
Not really. It's kind of
Okay.
more liquidy, but it's still really good.
Okay. All right. I got you. What's a food that you hate?
Um, I don't really like donuts.
You don't really like donuts? Really?
Yeah, I don't like, not a big donut guy.
Not a big donut guy. All right. All kinds of donuts, like the ones with cream in the middle,
All of them.
all of them.
Not a
All
fan.
right. Okay. So let's go to school and let's talk about what is the subject you like the most. It might not be your best subject. What's the subject you really like?
History. Definitely history.
Oh yeah? What is it what is it about history that you like?
I just, I don't know. I like reading about the past a lot and thinking about how people came before me, and I like to kind of put myself in their perspective to see what they were thinking at the time.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a particular time in history that you like best?
Probably like the Industrial Revolution, I would say.
Okay. All
I had to
right.
do a lot of projects about that when I was younger.
That's cool. That's cool. I think that, except for the internet in the last 40 years, that was probably a huge revolutionary thing, that changed many people's lives. So definitely cool. What about a subject you really don't like?
Math.
Why? That's a constant theme with having conversations with you guys. What is it about math?
I don't know. I just don't like math. I'm just not a fan of math. Math can
Okay.
be fun at times, like when you finally conquer like a math problem you've been working on. But I hate like I don't know. I just don't like math.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got you. All right. So a couple more of these, and then we'll jump to the other stuff. Would you say you're more book smart or street smart?
I would say book smart.
Book smart.
Yeah, my
Okay.
mom made me read a lot growing up. So,
Is there anything particular that well, you said history, but was there other things that you like to read?
um, mostly just history. I like fiction.
You do like
So,
fiction?
yeah.
So what's a good fiction book that you could recommend to me? You can see behind me, I've got like lots of books.
I have to take a look at my phone actually. Tell you.
I'm always looking for another good book.
Well, actually, I read this book in school. You probably actually have already read it, but it's called what is it called? Great Gatsby. I love The Great Gatsby.
Oh, you
I
like The
read
Great
that book.
Gatsby?
I read that book like 3 times. I love The Great Gatsby. It's a good book.
Very cool. Yeah, I know. I have read The Great Gatsby before. Now it's been a minute, but definitely a good book. I love both fiction books, but I'm like you. I like a lot of nonfiction stuff. I think nonfiction is really kind of interesting than everything else, and I love history. So, all right, so let's continue on. Sushi, yes or no?
Yes, love sushi.
You
Love
love
sushi.
sushi.
You ever had
Is-
fried sushi?
Yeah, I've had fried sushi
Yeah,
before.
it's great. I love
All right.
sushi.
All right. Last question. Time machine or a magic wand?
Time machine.
Time machine. And are you going back in the past or are you going to go to the future?
Actually, I think I'm going to change and say magic wand. I think I'll
Okay.
change my answer.
Why a magic wand?
What does the magic wand do? What do I gain with the magic wand?
I mean, I think you can gain anything, right? So you can gain a time machine.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
Be able
got
to do
you.
anything.
Hey, I love that. I love that. All right. So, what is a talent that you have off the mat that people maybe don't really know about?
I think I'm really good at trying to understand other people's perspectives. Like if there was ever like a confrontation or argument, I really try and understand what people are saying so that I can kind of get to a compromise.
Okay. So that's a great skill to have. What is it? Is it kind of your personality that kind of lends to that, do you think? Or
I mean, I would think so. I think I don't know. I really try and always put myself in other people's shoes when I talk to them.
oh, yeah, that's awesome. All right, so let's put the wrestling shoes on now and go back in time to when you began wrestling. How did you begin? When did you begin?
I started in 7th grade because after the football season, I didn't have anything to do. And this one of my coaches had told me he was like all the starting offensive linemen at Bob Jones wrestle, and I went to a practice and I did see like the whole starting five offensive line at practice, and it was kind of like a at first it was like a kind of get better at football thing, but as I started getting more into it, I really fell in love with it.
Very cool. So, what did you think of that first practice? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was horrible. I don't want to say I cried, but I want to say I was definitely near that point.
It just because it was really hard, or because
It was just it's a different type of conditioning that is not like any other sport, I feel like.
yeah, no, I mean, as a wrestler, yeah, I agree with you 100%. How did that impact your football play?
Made me way better at football. I feel like every football player should wrestle. It's great for your conditioning. I think it builds a great mentality. And I really feel like it translates in the sport well. And I played offense. If I would have played defense, I feel like it would have translated even better because, tackling form would get better. You'd keep your head up when you tackle. And I just turned into a hard dude. So
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. All right, so let's take it back to that few years ago. You take third, um, and then last year you placed, and and kind of talk to me a little bit about the mentality of of maybe not reaching the goal that you had. If I assume the goal was to win a state title before your senior year. Is that true?
yes, it is. It was
So what was the mentality after you came up a little bit short? That how was it? How are you going to change that?
sophomore year or junior year.
Sophomore year.
Um, Sophomore year, I don't know. I was really close because I don't think there was like a big difference in all of the seeds in my bracket. And I just knew that I really had to work harder and get after it sophomore year. So sophomore going into junior year, I really worked hard, especially that summer. I used to grind a lot that summer, and I spent all that spring going to camps, going to Warrior, just trying to get better and wrestle new people and see new styles of wrestling. And I think that was really big in my career for me to go. I went to Perler in Missouri,
Hmm.
and I got to see a bunch of different styles of wrestling there. And I think that was really big for my technique.
So was it a disappointment to not do as well your junior year?
It definitely was because I really had, believed that I could win it. But I mean, it was a pretty tough bracket my
Was
junior year.
yeah.
So
So what was it? coming into your senior year, you know it's your last chance to win a state title. You come in to the state tournament as the 1 seed. Did you feel any pressure?
Felt a little bit of pressure, but I wasn't really nervous or anxious about it because I don't know, I wrestled really well. I had only lost one match in heavyweight all year, and I felt really confident that I could beat everybody in the weight class.
So talk to me a little bit about the 3 days, because you're not used to that in a tournament. You know, it being spread out. Did it add more anxiety or any pressure, or was it? And you know what? It is in your backyard, so you got to go home. That, which I bet was probably an
Yeah.
advantage.
Well, junior year, it was because sophomore year was 2 day. It was a 2 day state tournament, and then junior year was a 3 day. And last year, actually, I would think it added a little bit of pressure. This year, I was prepared for it, so it wasn't as bad. But junior year was kind of, I don't know, exhausting a little bit. I feel
Hmm.
like because I know that because I had lost my quarters match, and we had to wrestle like late into the night that second day.
Yeah, that's a grind. That's a grind. So, what was the feeling that you had after you won? After you won the entire thing?
It was honestly really surreal. Like it just didn't feel real, honestly. Like because I always imagined like that moment, and it was so much better than I ever could have imagined it.
That's cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Was there somebody that you looked at or you were thinking of that kind of helped you get to that point?
Yeah, I was thinking about my mom. As soon as I won, I watched her come down the stairs, and she was crying. She gave me a big hug.
That's cool. That's awesome. Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Made me
Very
feel
cool.
great. Yeah.
All right. So what is next, Tafari? Where are you headed?
I'm not really sure right now. I'm enrolled at Alabama to go to college. I think I'll probably major in finance.
Okay.
So
So
that's my plans for right now.
your wrestling career is done at the moment.
I put an
Okay.
asterisk next to it.
Sure, sure, sure. Um, if it is done, do you? I mean, is there a little bit of a like a bittersweet that it is?
Almost certainly. I mean, I watch videos of wrestling all the time, and the thought of, oh, I might never do this again is obviously very daunting because it really becomes a part of you, especially if you want to go anywhere in the sport, you have to make it a part of your life. And, when you stop wrestling, it leaves. But I think that if I don't wrestle, I'll definitely keep it close to me because our room is always open to alumni. So I'll go down there and work with some of the younger guys a lot and coach them if I can in the coming years.
That's cool. That's cool. If you were to look back at your younger self, what's a piece of advice you would give you?
Um, Probably be more confident going into my matches because I used to actually get really nervous sophomore and junior year, but this year I had no nervousness going to my match because I was just so confident in my abilities. Even if I mean I wrestled this guy. I don't know if you heard him, Jacob Levy from Georgia. Yeah, he was
Actually,
pretty good.
I just talked to him.
Yeah, he was pretty good. And no matter who I was wrestling, I always had like supreme confidence that I was better and that I would win.
Very
So
cool.
and I would have just told myself to do that at a younger age.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So last question that I've been asking every person is why wrestle? What makes it special to you?
Um, I feel like it's since it's an individual sport, it's really you definitely get in what you put in wrestling. Like there's hardly ever any like fluke wins. It's really you really have to earn it and you really have to grind. And when you spend so many years grinding and so many years trying to get something, it just makes it so much better when you can finally accomplish it. Like when you
Yeah,
finally see your work paid off, that's a great feeling.
I couldn't have said it better. That was perfect. So I appreciate it, Tafari.
Of course, thank you.
Congratulations on a state title. Um, Best of luck in the future, whether I see you on the mat again or I don't see you on the mat again. I want to wish you the best of luck and yeah, man, congratulations.
Thank you for having me, of course.